Hi, I'm Brian McCann, partner at Calgary Law in the Family Law Department, and welcome to the continuation of our series, Advocating for Your Family. First, we hope everyone out there in our community, their families and their loved ones are healthy and safe, practicing appropriate social distancing and staying home as much as possible in these crazy times. I'm here today with Luca Zimachuk, partner and managing attorney at NPZ Law Group, the premier immigration attorneys in New Jersey, with offices in Ridgewood and I believe also in Canada, correct, Luca?
Yes, affiliated offices in Canada, and we also have office in New York as well.
Okay. And Luca's also a member of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. So how are you today, Luca?
Good, very good. How are you
So
doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there, managing and adjusting to the remote and virtual world that we now live in, but we're hanging in there. Thanks. So Luca and I were talking a little bit about how her practice has not slowed down at all during this pandemic. And in fact, she finds herself extremely busy these days in the immigration world. So how are you holding up, Luca?
All is good. I just want to say that I'm thankful for technology. I'm thankful that we can still help our clients. We can do filings. I think many years ago we would not be able to do that. So we're kind of
Absolutely.
lucky about the
It's amazing.
technology.
It's amazing how the legal community and the legal world is transitioning to almost a whole virtual
Exactly.
practice. Court appearances, conferences, mediations. We're experiencing the same thing. So in our conversations leading up to today's video, Luca and I were having some discussions about issues that she's facing now in the immigration world, and a question came up that I thought was extremely valuable and would be extremely valuable to our respective communities. And maybe we could, enlighten them a little bit about some of the issues you're facing, and maybe they're facing similar problems. So I had a question of Luca: if you had family members that were visiting you from another country, say Italy or France or Germany or the UK, and they're visiting the United States, and they were still here, in the beginning of March or right when the pandemic really became
Mhm.
critical here in the United States, and your family can now not get back home. If you were experiencing that kind of issue, and what advice would you give families that are experiencing that issue right now?
It's a really good question, and I think it's a hot topic right now. I actually see a lot of questions. So it's either, family members visiting foreign nationals as far as the students, foreign workers, or even US citizens and green card holders. And believe it or not, there are a lot of people stuck here, whether they like it or not, they have to stay. And oftentimes their status is expiring, so they need to do something. So, before we go into the details, it's just important to explain that there are visitors that are using B2 visas. So they actually have to go to the US Embassy, apply for the visa, they enter United States. Typically, they are granted a period of admission for 6 months, and they can extend it. So if anyone's status is expiring, let's say in a week, that's not a problem because we do have mechanism. So we would be able to extend the B2 status by filing Form I-539 with USCIS, which is US Citizenship and Immigration Services, and we would file the basic filing fee, biometrics fee, and also documents proving financial ability to stay here in the United States, and also what is the reason. Right now it would be COVID-19. So that's not a problem at all. But then we have individuals, visitors, that are allowed to enter without visa. They come with ESTA authorization. So they don't have to go to the US Embassy. They just fill out an online form, which is usually granted within a few minutes. And they're able to enter the United States for a period of 90 days. However, they're not able to extend it or change the status normally. So in this scenario, if their status is just about to expire, let's say next week, or in the next 2 weeks, luckily we now have a new mechanism, and it's really at the Newark airport and JFK. I haven't heard anything from other airports, so just here where they mentioned that the individual should request satisfactory departure, and it could be granted for 30 days. So it would be just a phone call contacting CBP, which is Customs and Border Protection, at the airport. It would be, I think, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and they're just asking for the basic information such as passport information, name, date of birth, and it's just very important to make that request. Otherwise, there would be negative consequences. So, for example, if someone overstays the 90 days, they're not going to be able to use ESTA or the visa waiver in the future. That's number one. Number two, if they overstay, they start accruing unlawful presence. And if they stay for more than 180 days, they leave, they're going to trigger a 3-year bar. They're not going to be able to come back for 3 years. So it really has some serious consequences. So it's very important to contact CBP at the airport and see if they can get an extension.
Are you handling a lot of that for your client base right now? Contacting the airports, getting the extensions, putting the paperwork together?
Yes,
Okay.
we do. More, I would say it's more for extensions. So those that are holding B2 visas, because I think for ESTA, I'm directing my clients to contact CBP by themselves. But of course, we do provide assistance as well. But, you know, it's happening a lot.
And the ESTA extension you said is only for 30 days, correct?
Yeah, for ESTA, as it is right now, it's up to 30 days, but I'm sure it's going to be case by case. And, you know, for some people, they may not know about it. In fact, I learned about it only a couple of weeks ago. So, you know, for those cases where the status already expired, it's very discretionary and they're going to take it case by case.
So somebody could be sitting out there not aware that their ESTA has expired, or just assuming that because of COVID-19, they'll be able to extend it, or there'll be some kind of leniency on it, not realizing that there could be severe consequences. You have,
Correct.
you have the, what'd you call it? The unlawful presence?
Yes.
What's the consequence for that?
Well, that's a problem because they would not be able to use ESTA in the future. So if they overstay and they cannot use ESTA in the future, they would have to go to the US Embassy and apply for the actual visa.
Okay, that's pretty serious. And I hope that anybody that's listening to this that may have this issue similar to this, that they reach out to you. Your information can be found embedded in this video link. If any questions you have, thank you so much for joining me today. The information has been tremendously valuable. And again, everybody out there listening to this, please don't hesitate to contact either one of us. We're here to help you with any immigration or family law related issues. We're here to help you and advocate for your family in any way possible. So thank you so much for joining me today, Luca.
Thank you very much for having me.
Really appreciate your answers to your questions, the information you provided. Thank you.